Stop. Don't buy that picks package or all access. Wait, what? Yep, don't click add to cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.
All right, guys, so welcome in at a very, a Tuesday, I believe. It is a Tuesday. Yes, we're going to go with that. It is May the 10th here, and we got ourselves a couple of more NBA playoff games here to discuss on the NBA Tip-Off Show, and we're going to do it today with the OG crew, the original NBA Tip-Off Show crew here with Ski Prophet in the house, Tony Finn here, as is Rob Vino, coming off a night, gentlemen, which was certainly infuriating at moments, elation at other moments. All in all, I think there was a lot of throwing up, Ski, and a lot of ticket cashing last night, depending on which way you were looking at it. How did you do, my friend, and what do you got for us tonight over at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, last night was good for me. It was a 3-0 day. I went 2-0 in MLB, and I've been doing pretty good over there. My last 94 plays and MLB, I'm like at 60.6%. And then I went 1-0 in the NBA with Celtics. So great day yesterday. So far today, I think I have 3 plays in association. I have 4 plays in WNBA, and I have, I think, 1 or 2 plays in MLB.
Damn. It is a buffet, people, over at Ski's page at WagerTalk.com. And don't forget, WNBA, guys, is in action, and nobody been more profitable at WagerTalk than Ski over the years in the WNBA. Some edges to be had there, guys, so make sure you check it out with him. Tony Finn, my man, what is going on? I thought of you yesterday on the show. One of the best bets I think you gave out was Jaren Jackson, I believe, was a couple of blocks or a block and a half, and he got one in like the first 30 seconds, and I'm like, there's Finn. Finn, it worked for you. How was the rest of the night? What do you got locked and loaded for us tonight?
Well, I couldn't find any alternative block prop on Jackson of 5 or more, which would have paid probably a little bit, but it wasn't a great day. I split in the NBA. I went over the total. I found, like we discussed on the show, I was looking for reasons to play that second game without Morant over the total. I found reasons to do it, but they weren't really good enough reasons, as you all witnessed. And in the baseball, I went 1-2. I felt pretty fortunate to get the one game. We talked about that a little bit off air, where the White Sox and the Indians decided, not the Indians, I'm sorry, the Guardians decided that they were going to, save the best for last, and we did get that. So we went 2-3. It's okay. Still a good run, guys. 15-4 in the NBA playoffs, and that's all best bets. So we got 2 tonight. Let's make it to 17-4.
All right. I like that attitude. And Rob Vino, cha-ching, my man. You sat here, you kept screaming and yelling, talking about points in that Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks game. You kept yelling. Nobody wanted to listen. Finn didn't want to listen. But you were correct when it was all said and done. It took a little while to get there, mind you, because I know we were chatting last night back and forth in our 1% club, and it was ugly in the first half. That was some terrible basketball, not going to lie. But they came through, ultimately, with the over in the Milwaukee Bucks and Celtics game. So congrats there.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens, isn't it, Joe? I mean,
unreal.
I spent probably from 7:30 Eastern time till 9:20 Eastern time. Not saying polite things about anybody on the Celtics or Bucks, but then they turned it around, right? It was like 129 second half points or something ridiculous. And out of the whole mess, because I had bet that thing multiple ways, wound up losing the first half over, but came back winning the Celtics team total over and the full game over. So it wound up being profitable. So thank goodness that, they started scoring second half. I think Boston went for 43 in the fourth quarter. And boy, oh boy, I guess you don't want to poke Al Horford too hard because somebody poked that bear and he went crazy in the fourth quarter. So that was a good thing for those of us who had the total up and over.
Hot tub time machine in full effect with our man Al Horford here. Turning back the clock. Somebody, I think it was it Teddy I was talking to earlier today, our man Teddy Covers. And I believe Horford was part of those back-to-back championships at Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And that was the last time we had back-to-back champions in college hoops, was the old Billy Donovan, the Billy Donovan days there at UF. Back-to-back championships there for Horford, and he's playing like one right now, thank goodness, because the Celtics can use all the help they can get. And so can the Miami Heat, for that matter, who tonight are trying to stop the bleeding, as maybe they can get Al Horford to come over, trade for him really quickly. -3.5 is an opening. Embiid comes back, and all of a sudden they can't shoot on the road, but maybe home cooking is what they need. I'm seeing threes starting to pop up in a number of spots here, and as we take a look at that total, 209, so that's come down just a hair here. And Ski, listen, Miami, you ain't going to get it done if Jimmy Butler's got to shoot, if you got to drop 40 a game, which is what he's being forced to do here, and they still ain't going to win. Tyler Hero, where are you? I mean, if Lowry's that hurt, sit his ass down. There's no point in having him out there, but you think Miami puts it together offensively here tonight to get it going again?
I think they do. In general, on the season, they're close to 74% winners at the house. And, I mean, we've seen lately in the playoffs, it's been the home teams dominating every single game. Game 5, especially when the series is tied up like this, 2-2, it's a pivotal game. Teams that go up 3-2, I think, win the series somewhere close to 80% of the time, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to get max effort. And I really trust the Heat at the house. I looked up home favorites in those game 5s. They win 78.7% of the time. And so I'm rocking with the Heat here at minus. The spread has been up and down, but the money line has been between -145 and -155. At -145, that's less than 60% implied probability. And I just told you home favorites in game 5s win above 78% of the time. So that's the best bet for me in this game. Heat money line.
Heat money line it is. And listen, the home favorites, they've been pretty good, not only in the playoffs this year, certainly in this round here. 12-4 straight up is what favorites are in general here. But my goodness, gets a little bit better if they are home, Tony Finn. So what do you think? Miami's had a day to figure it out. Home cooking, South Beach, they get it done tonight, Finn.
Listen, if you were going to put a gun to my head, I would say yes. I would say that for a couple reasons too. You just outlined one of them, and that is that Miami at home, Philadelphia at home has been the theme. The same theme is really applies to Phoenix and Dallas too, which is also tonight, and I'm certain we'll cover that a little bit. But offense has been an issue for Miami. They averaged just over 100 points per 100 possessions in those two games at Wells Fargo. They shot 22% from the three line. And while, listen, some of that shooting percentage is correlated to the return of Embiid. What Embiid does offensively, he also does defensively for this team. There's a lot of holes that Embiid covers that this Philly team has. When he's on the court and he's healthy. He's not 100%, but it certainly is nice to have, if you're a Philly fan, it must certainly be really nice to have him be back. I like Miami tonight, though, in this series that's tied 2-2 for several reasons. One, maybe more than anything, while Philly hasn't been absent necessarily from playoffs, this Miami Heat team has experienced. A lot of these guys on this roster have won a championship. They won a championship, or and have played in this kind of a level of competition enough that they know how. They don't have to have Coach Pete giving them instructions and making adjustments. They know what they have to do. I expect Miami not only to win tonight, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they win comfortably.
So we're watching that total come down here a little bit, Rob Vino, and I got to think that maybe there's a correlation here between what you like with the total here and who might win this game. So apparently we got two guys looking for the home favorite here tonight, Miami with Ski and Finn. You think a Miami win correlates to an over? What's a number that's come down here a little bit at 209 right now?
Well, I would say thank God this isn't a contrarian God's game, because I'm going to agree with Tony and Ski. And if that were the case, then we could all run to the, first window we find and play Philadelphia. But this isn't a contrarian God's game, so I think we're safe here. I'll give you some notes on the officiating here, Joe, if you want to read officiating into the total. Kane Fitzgerald is the lead official here. He's had 8 playoff games so far. The simple way to look at it is 4 over and 4 under out of his 8 games. It sounds like he's pretty balanced. But when you dig in, you see that 7 of the 8 games he's officiated have all gone over 212 points. So that 4 and 4 over under a little bit misleading. He seems to ref a lot of high scoring games. 6 of the 8 he's refed in the playoffs have hit 223 or better. It's a lot of points. He had the 76ers once in these playoffs. They beat Toronto 131-111. Philly wins big, and that goes way over. Hasn't reffed Miami in the playoffs. During the season, they're 3-2 with him officiating, and Philadelphia actually is 5-1 against the number with Fitzgerald officiating. But I think those total numbers maybe speak a little bit. The Miami positives, if we're going to get into those real quick, forget about the first 2 games when they didn't have Embiid. I'm just going to go to the 2 games where they did have Embiid and they were on the road, and that puts 2 giant things against them. But in those games, their bench was plus 20 points, 52-32. So the bench is still, even though we want to harp. I know yesterday, Joe, we talked an awful lot about where the heck is Duncan Robinson. Then today I start listening. Everybody wants to know where Duncan Robinson is. And Miami's owned the paint. Even with Embiid in, Miami's 76-62 total points in the paint, plus 14. So a lot of that's to do with Jimmy Butler and his aggressiveness. It just leads you to this game's real simple. Philadelphia has won the last 2 games shooting identical 16 of 33 from 3. They've outscored Miami identical 48-21 from 3. That's 27 points extra for the Sixers from 3. It's a team that couldn't make a 3 in Miami. I just can't expect them to shoot that way for a 3rd straight game. And on the flip side, you can't expect Miami to go 14 of 65 the way they did in Philadelphia from 3-point range. So, a lot of things have to flip here. But I think home court, Ski and Tony talked about home court. That's important too. I just think that, this James Harden talk and all this Philadelphia is going to win the series now talk, I'm not buying it. I think Miami comes out and wins this game. And I think they shoot a lot better from 3. And we may see some Duncan Robinson because Kyle Lowry's out. No Kyle Lowry in this game. Yep. Maybe Robinson gets his 10, 12 minutes on the floor to shoot some threes. If you're looking at props, maybe you want to look at Tyler Hero to have a little bit of a bounce-back game here for sure because he was terrible last game. I like Miami minus the 2.5.
All right, like in Miami, minus 2.5, Ski. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, call me crazy here, but even without Embiid those first 2 games, Vino, they got a lot of good looks. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of boat, Philadelphia. So if they're able to hit a few, Miami does. I don't see how this doesn't go over the total here at least 210 or more. So I don't get it. Oh, no. But you're talking Kane, too. You just told me that the guy that single-handedly took Chris Paul out of the last game against Dallas is now the ref in this game, which is bothering me.
I'm not talking you off of the over. Believe I'm the last person in the world that would talk anybody on this earth into not playing over. But Danny Green is the guy who was making all those threes for Philadelphia for the most part, and then Harden steps in and makes 6 more. I don't know that I trust Philly's role players on the road, to tell you the truth. Niang hasn't been there, and again, like I say, Danny Green went berserk in Philadelphia. We'll see. But I wouldn't talk you up over. I just happen to like Miami a little bit more. We'll see what Danny Green does here.
How much do we need, Ski, of Danny? I mean, Danny Green would just make 2 or 3. You didn't make any when he was here last week in Miami.
That's mid-major Matt's new favorite player right there, Danny Green.
Oh, he loves it.
But I'm just over here laughing because you're talking about James Harden going off a little, and I just can't help but think that tweet where they said James Harden saw that little baby and Ja Morant commercial, and now he's going off because I can't help but get a good laugh at that one.
Yeah, Harden. Well, let's take a look at his props too. Maybe a best bet coming here, guys. We'll get to those in just a minute, but let's take a look out west here. Another series knotted up at 2 apiece here, thanks to home court being dominant as well, with Dallas now having to head to Phoenix to take on the Suns, and we're looking at 213 as a looks like as a opening number there. That has creeped up 215s now in a number of spots. That 5.5 also has gotten pushed up 6.5s in a lot of places. And I mean, listen, so far home court has dominated here, Ski. I guess the market is thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Phoenix at home, even at 6.5 here at this point. Is that where you're looking, or you think some value on the dog?
I have to look towards Phoenix in this one. How I think this game is going to go, I mean, the first 2 games of the series, we saw, Luka doing his part, getting what he wants, and kind of Brunson and Dinwiddie were missing, right? And then these next 2 games, it's like everybody's contributing, everybody's getting off. So in my mind, the Suns have to get back to limiting all of the other players, and Luka's gonna get his. You got to live with, make it hard for him, but you got to live with what Luka's gonna get. Just don't let Brunson, don't let all these other guys get off. And if you do that, I think the Suns win easily. I think they'll be, I think Chris Paul have a little extra fire underneath him because of stuff that happened in that last game. I talked about home court, how home favorites are in Game 5, a little bit above 78% winners. The Suns, every game that they've won in the playoffs so far, they've covered. It's by an average of, or a little bit over 10 points per game. And the Suns, as a home favorite off of a loss, they've covered their last 6 by an average of 19 points per game. I think, they run them out the gym tonight.
All right, liking it, agreeing with the market move here, Tony. Finn, how about you? You agree with the Suns and the only way to look here in this one?
Yeah, I do. I agree with Ski for several reasons. One, while everyone wants to, while Monty Williams has been coach of the year and one of the best for young basketball minds, et cetera, what they did in the first 2 games, while it be as Ski described here as some home cooking and being better at home, being more comfortable, especially the second rotation seems to always have been comfortable, much more comfortable and much more effective and efficient at home as opposed on the road, is that Williams, I thought he really tried to over-adjust to, what Doncic did. And I thought that Ski mentioned it, and that is you let Doncic get it. You're not gonna stop Doncic. It's just like trying to stop Wilt. Even Wilt lost a national championship game. I think he scored 60 in that game back in '55 or whenever it was when I was a little boy. And and here's the deal: you let him get his, and you limit the role players. First and foremost, don't have to go any further than this. There's a correlation here in this game, and that is, if this game goes over the total, Phoenix is going to win and cover. If the Phoenix doesn't get their 120, 125, then they're probably in a little bit of jeopardy not covering, maybe not winning. And the game may be going under the total, as where Dallas wants to play it a crawl, you guys. So Dallas isn't going to shoot. Listen, when Finney Smith's shooting 9 or 12 or 8 or 11 from 3-point. I don't care if it's you, Wilt, Magic, and every all-world player in the NBA. It's going to be tough to beat them. And if they shoot that way tonight, their reserves shoot, then Phoenix is probably in trouble. I like Phoenix at home minus number. I just do.
All right. Well, I guess that's the big question, right? I mean, those numbers that they put up there on that tweet were, forget about Doncic. It's the role players, right? I mean, look at this. Finney Smith. You got Kleber hitting what? 49%, 43%. Bullock, 40%. You know, Tony may have a point there, Rob. These three guys continue to deliver from the perimeter. They could very well be in trouble because they don't shoot threes. That's not what Phoenix does here, you know? So what are we going to get here tonight, you think?
Well, I think you go back to the old playoff adage that role players play way better at home than they do on the road. You know, to everybody's point about Dallas, the surrounding cast and their shooting, they made 23s in Game 4 when they beat Phoenix. Luka Doncic made one of those 20. He was 1 for 10 from three-point range. So the rest of these guys made 19 threes. We just talked about how the three-pointer helped Philadelphia win 2 games, how the three-pointer has now helped Dallas win 2 games. I think, you know, and I'm glad Tony brought up Monty Williams because I was going to do the same. You watch him in his post-game press conferences, and he's too good of a coach. He's not going to pull a Michael Malone and throw his team under the bus and berate them. But I think this team got complacent. They win those first 2 games scoring 121 and 129. It looks so easy. A lot of people thinking that maybe 4 straight, Dallas didn't belong. They were a step slow. These teams didn't really change ability. But what did change was Jason Kidd made a couple minor adjustments defensively that Monty Williams can counter now. And I think what you do if you're Phoenix, I'll agree with what all 3 of you guys said about Luka. Let him get his. But don't just let him get his. Go back to Game 1 and Game 2, especially Game 2, where they made him work on defense, where they made sure he got in pick and roll. Dallas found a way to get away from it, to not have Luka switch and get caught in it. But I think Chris Paul and Devin Booker, the 2 of them, are going to go back to this, and they're going to try and get Luka, draw him on pick and roll, just make him work, and tire him out the same way that New Orleans tried to do it to Chris Paul. Mm-hmm. I like Phoenix multiple ways here. I think first quarter is good. I think first half is good. A full game can be good. And to whoever said it correlates, I forget which one of you guys said it, I believe the same thing. I mean, I think Phoenix team total of 110.5 is more than doable here. Maybe a first quarter total, they come out of the shoot real quick, is doable here. And the Chris Paul points, rebounds, and assists I looked at this morning and played it myself was 30.5. You know, it's a slightly big number for him, but in my mind, he's just telling me he probably gets to 20-plus points-wise, and from there, the assists and rebounds take care of themselves. So he'll probably spend more minutes on the court here. I think that Phoenix over. I like them both. I think I like Phoenix a little bit more, though, guys.
Liking Phoenix a little bit over. I mean, it's been a lot of firsts, too, for this series with Chris Paul, guys. It's been, I think that was the first time he's ever had 4 fouls in any game in his career, much less the playoffs in the first half. I mean, look at this over here. He more personal fouls than points. Holy good Lord. Not to mention the game prior, turning the ball over left and right, him and Booker. So this is a big game here for this Phoenix team. They got to be able to handle their business and go up 3-2. But you mentioned it. Interesting prop numbers here. But as long as I believe Kane, you said, is at the Miami game. Who is the ref, by the way, at the Phoenix game? Please don't tell me Scotty Foster's there.
No, I should have brought this up for you guys because Ski made a point about the margin that Phoenix wins by when they win, and especially at home. So David Guthrie is your ref here, and he's had 9 playoff games so far.
Yeah.
9 playoff games so far, guys, and I looked at every lead official and what they've done in the playoffs, and this guy is the king of blowouts. 9 games he's officiated, 6 of those have ended up in wins of 10 or more. So his games aren't necessarily close, which was another little factor for handicapping Phoenix here. But that's your guy. That's your guy, David Guthrie. He's 4 overs, 5 unders. But again, that's just a general number. That's not going through exactly how many points were totaled in all of his games. He's had the Suns one time in these playoffs, and it was at home against the Pelicans, and the Suns won by 15, 112-97. He's had Dallas a couple of times here. They're 1-1 to the total, and the Mavs, he had them twice in the Utah series. The Mavs won both of those. But again, he's been the king of blowouts. No other referee has come close to having 75% of their games, 67% of their games decided by 10 or more in these playoffs like David Guthrie has.
Damn. All right, well, there you go. Ski almost jumped out of his seat here, guys. So let's see now, when we put it all together, if this is one of their best bets. So, Ski, come on, start us off. 60 seconds here. Man, you're Guthrie, and that was it, man. So where are we looking here tonight for a best bet? Talk to us.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I know that guy very well, and I think he's going to be on my side tonight.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, I don't want to take up too much of your time on your thing, but just real quick, yes or no. If Jokic, and just answer, I guess, when it's your turn, or you can answer now on my turn.
Mm-hmm.
If Jokic and Embiid switch teams, do the Nuggets get 48 wins? Is my question. I think they do not, because Embiid will not be available for majority of them, and they struggle. They suck. But my best bet, I'm going to go to the game we just talked about. I like the Phoenix Suns. I gave you a lot of reasons to like them. They've covered every game they've won so far in the playoffs, winning by over 10 points per game. Last 6 off of a loss as a home favorite, winning by 19 points per game. And home court in game 5, like I forgot who mentioned it. They were lackadaisical. You saw them in the interview after game 2. They're laughing, talking about how they can, just pick on Luka. They didn't take it too serious. I think they got punched in the face, and I think they punched back tonight. So I can see it being a smack city spot. Shout out to my boy Jay Money, but I'm gonna take the full game. Suns minus the 6.5 now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Take it. Lay it. You can lay it. Lay 7. Lay it. This could very well, Tony Finn, be one of those games in which we are hitting the alternate line when it's all said and done. But how about it, Finn? You nailed your prop in the game yesterday. You got another one. You got a side total. Where are you looking here tonight?
Let's go back to the player props. This one will be from the Suns, the Mavericks, and one of you. And I like Rob. I don't recall which one of you said that, but I fully expect Chris Paul to bounce back. He turns 37. He has the 2 worst games in the playoffs. Maybe. When he has 7 turnovers, Chris Paul, and if you look at his props, if you look at the minutes played last game, he played 5.7, 7 to 20 total between his rebounds, points, and assists in about 21 or 22 minutes. Tonight he plays 35-36. This team gets the win, and he's definitely going to get his other teammates involved. I like over 8.5 assists. You have to lay a little bit of juice on this. At Penny, I took it at Penny at minus 135. Over 8.5 assists, minus 135. Chris Paul and the Suns.
Boom! That's 2.
Yeah.
Leaning it in the Suns' direction here, Rob Vino. So come on, my man. Interesting sides here for both of these, including first half sides. But I'll let you tell us, 60 seconds, which way you're looking.
First of all, I'll use 10 seconds real quick here, Joe, to make you ecstatic by telling you that in the Miami-Philadelphia series so far, Miami has won and covered the third quarter all 4 times. So for somebody like you who absolutely loves third quarter betting, seems to be your specialty. Miami has been the way to make money doing that. I'm going to go to the same exact game these guys have been in, which is Phoenix and Dallas. I think we're finding a zillion different ways to play it, but I'm going to play Phoenix's team total over 110.5. 121 and 129 in the first 2 games played here in Phoenix. It looks so easy offensively. When Luka goes to the bench, they seem to be able to stretch things out. But I don't know that Dallas is going to be able to zone or cover the way they covered Phoenix in Dallas. I still think they're a step too quick for this team. So give me Phoenix back to their really good 50% shooting ways from the field. Phoenix team total over 110.5.
Boom! Man, that's a whole lot of Phoenix going on there, Ski. What are you thinking here? Let's take a look one more time to recap it. We've got Suns. We've got more Suns and even more Suns. We got Suns across the board here. Ski's laying the 6.5. Finn going Chris Paul dishing it tonight, getting his 8.5. He'll probably have that way before the half there. And Rob likes the team total over 110.5. I guess I'm the only one looking at my boys in South Beach here. Miami, come on. Don't let me down. There ain't no way J Money can be dancing in the streets of Dallas without us dancing in the streets here in Miami. So won't let it happen. But the bottom line is Ski, Tony, Vino, best bets locked and loaded right now over at WagerTalk.com. You heard Ski. He's got a whole potpourri going on there at WNBA, MLB, NBA. He's locked and loaded, as is Tony, Finn, and so is Rob Vino. Their best bets for tonight, guys. Plenty of ways to make some cash here, but it starts with you visiting them over at WagerTalk.com. And on behalf of Ski, Tony, and Rob, yes?
Well, just one quick question for you guys. I know this is an important question. Why can't I find a prop on how many times Doncic whines after? Is there ever going to be a foul that he does not incessantly whine about, and can he get away with it on the road as opposed to home? Question is, do you guys agree with me that he is not going to be able to do what he did? Did you think he was a little bit whiny? Is he a whiny wit?
And there goes the microphone. So sorry about that. All right, guys, on behalf of Ski, Tony, and Rob Vino, it is always a pleasure. Forget about all that nonsense. Best of luck with your plays tonight, guys. Make sure you come back, join us again tomorrow. We'll break it all down once again. Until then, good luck, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.